Honorable Minister Jaitley, Finance Minister of the Government of India, the Indian High Commissioner, the Indian Consul General based in Sydney, distinguished guests, students of our school, the SP Jain School of Global Management. On behalf of our school and our partners, EY, AIBC, and CII, I warmly welcome all of you to this wonderful event we have this afternoon. And in particular, I'd like to welcome Minister Jaitley. I understand that this is the first time we have a finance minister visiting Australia for bilateral talks. So let's applaud Mr. Jaitley for coming to Australia. I believe something hot must be cooking for the minister to come here in person. I hope that he shares some of these in his talks, in his speech. I can practically smell delicious Punjabi food served with top quality Australian wine, winning combination. And I wish the minister well during his discussions with the counterparts in Australia, and hope for successful outcomes, sir. The Indian economy has foreign exchange reserves of $356 billion US. So one may translate that to approximately 500 Australian dollars. To put that in context, Australia itself has foreign exchange reserves of $60 billion. The UK has foreign exchange reserves of about $160 billion. I'm not going to share with you China's foreign exchange reserves. It's pretty embarrassing. But I think what I'd like to highlight is that foreign exchange or foreign investment is pouring into India in a very big way. I'd like to think of it as a new resurgent India. And I think the topic for the minister's speech, which is reimagining the Indian economy, is very fitting for this very reason. I, for one, am extremely keen to hear what the minister has to say later this afternoon. As many Indians, I'm hoping that one day we will see double-digit growth. And I'm quite confident that with the leadership of Prime Minister Modi and Finance Minister Jaitley, that day is not too far away. Now, I will be remiss if I don't talk a few things about our SP Jain School of Global Management. And I know the chairman of our board is sitting here in the second row, and he will ask me to find a new job if I don't say anything. And given my limitations of finding a new job, I think I must comply, so please indulge me. Many of you who are visiting us for the first time ask the question, what is SP Jain doing in Sydney? And I'd like to just share a few words that SP Jain exists in Mumbai, of course, Dubai, Singapore, and Sydney. So we have 4 campuses, and we're looking to set up even the 5th one in the near future. So why does one school have so many campuses? Is it that we've come here fishing for Australian students or fishing for Singaporean students and so on? The answer is no. We believe that the world is truly global, and the global world needs a global business school that produces graduates that have a global mindset. And so when they come here to Australia, they actually understand how business is done in another country, and in this case, white democracy. When they go to Singapore, they understand how business is done in a Chinese country, and of course in Dubai, in the Arab world. And they also need to understand what's really going on in different parts of the world, what's going on, for example, in the Middle East. We read about it in the newspapers every single day. But how many of us truly understand that? And that, I think, is what differentiates our school from many other schools. Conventionally, schools were a place where you got knowledge. I go to school for what I know, but I think that is behind us these days. And I need to go to school for how to think, how to solve many tricky problems of the world. Let me share with you a real example of our school. In our BBA program, we have students from over 30 different countries. One of them comes from Syria. He actually lived in a refugee camp before joining the SPJN program. And of course, we have many Americans who also are part of the same program, in the same classroom. So we said, let's have some fun. Let's get them to role play. So the Syrian became an American and vice versa. And we said, broker a peace deal. Isn't that really very interesting that you have two who actually at war with each other, but they're students in the same classroom, and they have to do this role playing? I think it's fascinating. And personally, I think that if we all got into the habit of wearing the shoes of the other side, we would solve many of the world's very tricky and challenging problems. I think the chairman of our board would be satisfied that I've said enough of the school and that I continue to retain my job. With this, I once again welcome the finance minister for coming to SPJN. I think it is the first stop on his historic Australian tour. We are very pleased that he has chosen to come to our school and honored us, and thank him very profusely for that. With that, I would now like to invite High Commissioner Navdeep Suri to introduce the Finance Minister before he speaks. Thank you very much.